This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS Fundamentals. Puzzle 1. What will happen when you press Run? When run, keep in mind as a teacher, I know that once you pick an answer and hit Run, you can't change your answer and it is submitted to your teacher. So let's think about this. When run, draw square. Okay, draw a square. So now the computer needs to find that function, which is here. So when run, draw square, zoop. Repeat this 4 times. Oh, okay, so it's going to run 4 times, move forward 100, got it. Then what? Turn right 90, so a 90-degree turn this way. Boom, hits the bottom, zoop, back to the top, move forward, turn right 90, move forward. Okay, so that will, well, draw a square. We then jump backward by 175. So 175. If we're jumping backwards, turn right, we're going to end up right here when we started at the end of this. Then we jump backwards 175, and then we draw another 100 by 100 pixel square. So that should be a square here and here with a 75 pixel gap. So let's see here. Nothing. Well, that's not true. The artist will draw a single square. That's not true. The artist will draw 2 squares that overlap. No. The artist will draw 2 squares with a small gap. Yeah, I'm thinking that. But, awesome. Let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS Fundamentals. Here's a function called drawSquare. Use it to complete this drawing, okay? The squares are 75 pixels apart. Alright, less. Let's see, draw a square, repeat 4 times. Alright, so this is gonna, well, draw a square. What are we doing? We'll move forward by 100, so it's a 100 pixel square. And then we will turn right by 90. And like there, 75 pixels apart. Okay, so when run, draw a square. That should run. Yep. Once we do that, though, we need to get over here. Okay, so let's just go forward, and we need to draw that line. So they're less than 75 apart. So we're going to move forward by 100, but that won't be enough, right? Or 75. Because our square, that will just get us to here. So let's add 75 to that. And then what do we want to do? Well, we're going to ask the computer to run this function again, because once we're here, we want to repeat 4 times drawing this side, and then be done. So we'll draw a square. Once it repeats that 4 times, we're at the bottom of our function. We're going to move forward by 175, zoop, and then draw another. Let's see. But, let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS Fundamentals. Build a function that will create this star. Each arm of the star is 25 pixels long. You need to turn 45 degrees to get 8 arms, okay? It is okay to go forward and backward over the same arm. Oh, that's good info. All right, so here's our function. We're going to put code in here, and then when we hit run, it's going to do draw star, zoop, it then runs whatever code's in here. So it already told us that you need like 8 arms. So that's a good hint for loops, repeat 8 times. Let's just make sure. Yep, 8 arms. All right. So that is going to be an 8. Now the degrees, it said 25 pixels long, 45 degrees. Great. Wait a minute. So each one we're going to be 25 pixels long. So let's move forward by 25 pixels. Okay. And we're going to do that 8 times for each arm. Now, once we move forward by 25 pixels, we're going to go backwards by 25 pixels backwards, right? So we get back to the middle. Then what do we want to do? It said there are 45 degrees. So let's go ahead and turn right by 45 degrees and forwards 25 pixels, backwards 25 pixels, turn right 45 degrees, forwards, backwards, 8 times. This will repeat, giving us hopefully our star. And so what this does, when run, zoop, draw star, zoop, 8 times, and we should be good. Let's test. Ta-da! Awesome. Let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS fundamentals. All right, let's see. When is drawing 3 stars harder than drawing 4? When you also have to jump over the moon. Draw only those 3 stars to finish this puzzle. The jump between the first and second, okay, is 200 pixels. The jump between the second and third is 100. Got it. So if these jumps differ, we're not going to have them as part of our function. We're probably going to have them in when run. So let's again create a star just like we were last time. And so how did we create that star? Well, we did 8 times, right? Because each arm, there's 8 arms. And last time it actually told us, which I guess it's not saying right here, but we're going to go ahead and move forward by 25, because each arm of each star is 25 pixels. And then we're going to move backwards. Ooh, I just noticed they want us to do this in less than 11 blocks. I have 5 right now. By 25. Again, this is exactly like last time. And then I'm going to turn right by 45. Zoop, zoop, zoop to get each arm. So 8 times over, repeating this, and then, so I jump forward. Oh, I don't want to jump. Yikes. I always do that. I move forward by 25, so I'm actually drawing something. And then I'm just going to move back by 25, turn right by 45. So I face down here, hit the bottom of this, go back, repeat. Forward, back, turn right. Now I'm facing here and I have these 2 sections. All right, so this now draws a star. Loops, brush. Oh, do we have a brush color? Did they tell us? Interesting that they include that. I was looking for a function, draw star. Let's test that we get a star. And we do. Keep coding. Something's not quite right. Well, that's because we need to, how far? Jump 200 pixels. If they have this, let's use it. We'll just set it at the beginning of all of this, because once you set it, it doesn't need to change. And each star is going to be white, just to make sure it does that. All right. And then draw star. And then 200 pixels, so actions. Jump. 200. And then we want to, once we jump 200, we want to run our function draw star, which will make us draw zoop, another star, all 8 arms. And remember, once this draws all 8 arms and finishes, it says repeat 8 times. Well, I did that 8 times, boop. It then just hits this again and drops below it. Runs the next line, so we jump forward 200, then draw another star. Oh, okay, zoop, and we run it again. And then action, we're going to jump forward by 100 pixels this time. And then we want to tell it to draw another star. And we have 11 out of 11. Let's see. Oh, wow, that was awesome. They went super fast. Maybe I should slow it down. Ta-da! And so you can see it running through the function. We're going to jump forward, run. Cool. Let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS fundamentals. Drawing all of these windows individually would be a pain. Yeah, that's a big house. Try solving this puzzle by creating draw a window and calling it 5 times. Watch out for the door. Calling it means asking it to run, where we say its name over here, and the computer jumps over and runs all the code inside. Each window is made up of 4 25-pixel squares. The top windows are 100 pixel jump away from each other. Okay. 25 pixel squares. That must be these little parts. Or is that the big... Oh no, that must be the big part. The bottom windows are 150. So this is 25. Let's just test that to start, because I'm not really sure. Actions, move forward. Let's say 25. and see how big that is. Oh, okay, so it's the smaller part. All right, so that is one small square. Okay, so let's do, to draw a square, it has 4 sides. How much? They only want us to use 18 blocks. Okay, wow. It has 4 sides, right? So we're going to move forward by 25, and then we're going to want to turn. Oh. Well, no, they start us off there. Yep, let's do 25, and then we're going to want, once we move forward by 25, we're going to turn left. And then we want to repeat that 4 times to get our square. So let's just test as we go here. Yep, and so draw a window, zoop, draws that square of the window. All right, now we want to do that. What if I did? Oh, whoops. Okay, so we're facing, all right. Well, then I want to not be facing this way. I want to draw the next part of the window. So let's go ahead and turn right. Let's see. And then how many parts of a window are there? There are 4 squares to a window, so let's use another loop 4. And hopefully we'll draw the whole window. Not sure. Let's give it a shot. Ta-da! So we're drawing 4 squares, and then after this draws the 4. Okay, draw a window. Zoop. Repeat 4 times. Oh, okay. Repeat 4 times. Move forward 25, turn left. Zoop. Once, twice, and this draws our 4 sides. Once it draws the 4 sides, that's 4 times. So we're done. It drops below. We turn right 90 degrees. We hit the bottom of this, zoop, zoop, and we draw it all again, drawing another little square of the window, and then turning right and getting a full window. Now, each window is how much apart? 100. Okay, actions. How many blocks? We've used 8. Jump forward 100. And then after that, let's do draw a window and test this. Okay, so far so good. And then we're going to actions, jump, not move. Actions, jump forward by 100. And function, draw a window. That should, zoop, zoop, yep. 1 window, 2 window, 3 window. All right. And then how far? Oh, you know what? Just because I'm not sure how much code we can actually use, look at this. And it's just better coding. Jump forward 100, draw a window. Jump forward 100, draw a window. So we're doing the same thing twice in a row, which we shouldn't do in code because instead we could use a loop. Oops, once, twice, and zoop, save some lines. That should do the same thing that we've been doing. Now we're just going to tell it to run that twice. Perfect. And now we want to jump below 150 because the bottom windows are 150. We're going to turn right 90 and then jump to here. Hopefully. And then once we jump here, let's see what happens. I'm not sure this, okay. Let's go ahead and draw a window. And then we end up there. And then we're going to go ahead and, oh, we don't have a ton of blocks left. Let's turn to the right by 90. And then how big of a jump is this? So that must be 150 apart again, I think. I'm not completely sure, but I think that's 150. So do that. Once I jump forward 150, we can, well, I think we're going to ask the function to run again. Okay, so what this hopefully does is when I hit run, as you've seen, we'll draw the window. Zoop, it runs through this code, repeats 4 times. It draws each block, right? This draws each side of these little blocks. Then once it draws a side, we turn right, zoop, repeat that 4 times, drawing 4 little blocks, which create our window. Hit the bottom. Once we draw that, zoop, we're going to repeat this 2 times, which is us just jumping forward, drawing another window, jumping forward, drawing another window. Once we're done with that, we drop below it. We'll turn right, so we face the bottom. We jump forward 150, which gets us here. We're going to draw a window here. Then we're going to turn right, which will hopefully face this window. Jump another 150, and then draw a window, zoop, which will draw a final window. I guess we'll find out. Oh, that obviously wasn't enough to tell us how far. Let's say 200 because it was close. Oh, of course it's 200. Of course it's 200. Ooh, and we did it in 18 because it's 100 then 100 up here. So that makes sense that this would actually be 200. That one was tricky. Awesome. Let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS Fundamentals. Functions easy. We are going to build something up to something fancy. Start by creating a function for the square. Okay, a square. And we did this in the last one, right? So we're going to move forward. I'm not sure if it is 100, but that's fine. How many sides are to a square, right? Because we only want to use at most one of those. 4 sides, okay? And then so in the function, we're going to repeat this 4 times. We'll move forward by 100. And then each time we move forward, I'm going to need to turn for each side of the square, and I want to turn left. So I hit run. What should happen? Draw a square. The computer, draw a square. Okay. Runs 4 times. Move forward. Zoop. Turn left. I'll face this way. Hits the bottom. Second time through, forward left here. Forward left, 4 times. Once it's done, we go back here. If there was a line below it, we would run that. But this looks like it will just run our function. Let's try. Way too big. Maybe 50 pixels. Ta-da! Yeah, so that was a bit annoying, but it was just 50 pixels. It's a smaller square. Awesome. Let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS Fundamentals. Zombie get dizzy. Alright, call the draw a square function from inside your draw a line of squares function to make it even easier. So here's draw. Okay. So what they're wanting us to do is have one function call another function. So these are our functions. Draw a line of squares, draw squares. So draw 3 squares, I guess, is drawing a line then of our squares. And so what we're going to be doing is squares are 50 apart. That's what we need to know. So loop, but up, draw a line of squares. How many squares? We have 3 of them. And what do we want to do? Well, we're going to want to draw a square, and then what? Then I'm going to draw, so if the squares are 50 pixels around, droop, 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 and I'm not sure if they provided this, it's the same function we created in the last lesson. So if you don't have it, go look at that. Draw a square, and then since the squares are 50 pixels apart, that means this corner to this corner is 50 pixels. So if I stop here, which is what I would do if I go around and draw a square, if I stop here, I would need to jump forward 100 pixels to actually get to 50 plus 50 is 100. So jump forward 100. So what I'll do then is I'm going to draw a square, draw a line of squares, runs. So when run, zoop, draw a line of squares, zoop, repeat 3 times, draw 1 square, zoop, jump forward by 100, zoop, hits the bottom. Okay, second time through, draw a square. And what draw a square does is it runs this, draw a square. So, zoop, repeat 4 times, and that's because each time it draws one side of the square once, zoop, twice, 3 times, 4 times. and then I would have this square done, because once the function runs, we just go right back to the code where it ran, and I'm here. So then the next line after we run this whole function is jump 100 pixels forward, boom, hit the bottom, third time through, draw a square. We run this code 4 times. Once that's done, hit here, and we would jump. But I think we'll be done. Let's give it a shot. Ta-da! Awesome. So, can do it a bit slower next time. But this stuff is tricky, but yes, functions can call other functions, and it really makes code easier to read. Let's keep going. This is code.org. I'm currently working on CS fundamentals. Add one or more functions that creates this stack of staggered squares using a draw line of squares function. Oh, okay. So add one or more functions. So we already got these 3 that we had been creating in the last several lessons. If you got stuck on any of those, go back and watch my tutorials on them. So we want draw. Alright, so we need to make at least one function. And what I'm going to want to do is draw a stack of staggered squares. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Draw a line of squares. So let's do draw stack squares, or maybe just stagger. Draw staggered squares. And so what should this function do? Alright, so right now our functions draw a line of squares. It repeats 3 times draw square. So we're going to draw these 3 squares, right? Draw square. This repeats 4 times. What we're doing here is just drawing each side of a square. Once we're done with that, we jump forward 100 right here. Go back, repeat again, drawing a square, which calls this. We draw that square and then that square. So how can we use this then to draw the other square? So to draw staggered squares, well, first we want to draw these 3 top squares, I'm thinking. And so a function can use another function. So let's draw a line of squares, and that will draw this first line. Then I'm going to want to turn. Wait a minute. And then I'm going to end up facing this way. No, I'll jump forward 100, I think, because this line, so 3 times, draw a square, jump forward, draw a square, jump forward, zoop. And then finally, we draw this final square, and then after we draw that square, zoop, we should jump forward and be here. Let me just double check that. Oh, I don't have a function. I need to ask it to run this draw a line of squares. Let's do that. Yep, so I'm going to be right here. So what I'm going to want to do then is action turn right by 180 degrees will turn us all the way around. Zoop. And so once I'm facing that way, can't I just do draw a line of squares again? Right? Because now I can just run this draw a line of squares again. I'm just going to take it from here. Draw a line of squares, I think. Alright, let's try this. So what this should do is we'll draw one line, and then we'll turn all the way around, and then draw a line of squares. Zoop, draw another line of squares. Let's try. And notice you can watch the code run as it highlights the yellow. Oh, awesome. So that one was tricky, but what we needed to do was add this function that's calling on this function that calls on this function. It sounds complicated, but it actually simplifies, because if someone who doesn't know code looks at this, oh, what's this program doing? Oh, this whole thing is drawing all these staggered squares. Oh, how's it doing that? Oh, I guess it's drawing a line of squares, and what that is doing is drawing a square one at a time. So it kind of clarifies too. It describes what is inside each function. All right, let's keep going. This is code.org. I'm currently working on CS fundamentals. Wow, that's complicated. So if this is terrifying, go back and look at the other parts of this lesson. Hopefully you did them correctly, because we've already coded a lot of what we need here before. All right, let's see. Actions. So let's start off like we did before with a draw square function. And perfect. All right, how many sides are there to a square? 4. So, oh, and they already set that to 4. Now, I want to move forward, but how much do I want to move forward? Well, it looks like just like the last several lessons, each side is 50 pixels. All right, when I move forward 50 pixels, what do I need to do? I'm going to need to turn 90 degrees. Yep, that looks good. And then I want to hit the bottom of this, repeat it again, move forward 50, turn 90 degrees, move forward 50, turn 90, and that should have me draw the full square now. Okay, now once I draw this full square, I also want to draw a line of squares. So just like before, let's make a function, draw a line of squares. Draw a line of squares. Okay, and what's nice is we've done all of this before so far. Draw a line of squares, what are we going to do? Well, we want it to draw a square. So we're saying, hey computer, when we run this function, draw a square. Zoop, the computer finds this, draw a square, and it's going to draw a single square. I would assume that these are just like in the other lessons, 50 pixels apart. So here to here is 50 pixels. When we draw a square, we're going to end up right back here. So I want to go forward, I want to jump 100 pixels forward because this side is 50 pixels long and then it's 50 pixels apart. 50 plus 50 is 100. So actions, jump, because I don't want to draw while doing this, 100 pixels forward. Then what am I going to want to do? I'm going to want to draw a square, okay? And then once I draw that square, I'm going to jump again to draw this square. So instead of doing that 3 times, right, because I want to draw a square, jump, draw a square, jump, draw a square, I am going to use a loop and just say zoop, zoop. I can just say 3 times here, and then I don't have to write it actually 3 times. We're going to test this. So when run, what do I want to do? Draw a line of squares. Because then, draw a line of squares, the computer goes, what? Finds this. Oh, okay, 3 times I'm going to draw a square. Zoop. Runs this code. Once it's done running draw a square, zoop, it goes back here. I then jump forward, hit the bottom of my loop, loop around again. Second time through, I draw another square, zoop, hit the bottom. Once I do all of the drawing, I go right, I go zoop, 3, 4, all sides are drawn. Now I go to this line, jump forward again, zoop, hit the bottom of my loop, and finally draw that last square and jump. Let's test this. Ta-da! Awesome. And then just like before, what do I want to do? Oh, well, I'm going to want to turn around and then draw, well, this is another line of squares. So, should I, Well, before we use the function draw staggered squares, so let's do that again and see what that gets us, right? Because this is upward squares and this is downward squares. So let's do draw staggered squares. Okay, that's the function we did in the last level. And what I'm going to do in that is just like I did in the last level. I'm going to say, okay, what should this do? First, let's draw a line of squares. Once we draw a line of squares, you can already see we're going to end up right here. So I'm going to then turn all the way around, and to do that, I can just say 180 degrees, turn all the way around, and then just like I did in the last level, I want to draw another line of squares. Okay? And so this will run. Now, instead of asking draw a line of squares to run, we're just going to ask draw staggered squares to run. Because this will draw that full line, we'll turn 180 degrees around, and then we'll draw another whole line of squares. Let's draw a line of squares, zoop, right here, and it repeats 3 times drawing each square. So draw staggered squares uses draw a line of squares twice, because we draw this line of squares, then we turn around, and then we draw a line of squares again, zoop, this line. Let's test so far. This is tricky. Alright, so far so good. It looks like these are 50 apart, so this is looking somewhat familiar at this point. What if we Actions, jump? No. I want to turn first. Turn 90 degrees to the left, though, and then jump forward 50. And then I would want to turn left again. And then draw staggered squares again. I'm not sure what this will do. Let's test it out. Oh, nope, definitely not. So, instead of jumping 50, let's jump all the way to the bottom of the square and jump 100. Instead of just jumping to here, let's jump to here. Aha! Aha! Okay, well then, I'm going to want to do this again. So I'm going to want to jump forward by 100. And then, no, I want to turn left, jump for. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to be repeating myself. Right? Because I'm going to want to, at the end, I want to turn left by 90. I want to actions jump forward by 100. And then I want to actions function draw staggered squares. Oh, I'm going to need to turn left again. So I'm repeating myself. If you look at this, right? Draw staggered square, draw staggered square. Oops, I just left some code behind. But regardless, these lines are repeating themselves. And then I can even say this is too, because once I'm all done, it doesn't matter if I also turn left and jump forward. As long as I don't draw again, the image will be the same. So, to keep the code short and nice looking, let's just use a repeat by 3. And now let's see what we got. Ta-da! Oh, that one is tricky. Look at all that code we just wrote. But we built up to it slowly. Awesome. Let's keep going. This is code.org. I'm currently working on CS fundamentals. Challenge puzzle. Challenge puzzles are lessons designed to stretch your brain. Just do the best you can. Oh, I will. All right, so I'm ready. Challenge. Functions and artists, puzzle 10. Challenge. Create the image using the limited blocks provided. Oh, and only 14 of them. Each triangle has sides of 50 pixels. To draw a diamond, you will need to alternate between turning 60 degrees and 120 degrees. Okay, so, oh yeah, this looks tricky. So we're going to want to draw functions to kind of limit how much code we actually have to, write. So what are the two shapes we're trying to make here? Do we want to draw... So it looks like we're going to draw triangles while doing each side of this diamond. Let's do this small shape. First, okay? Now, like a square, in order to draw each side, and each side's going to be the same length, we'll use a loop. But a square has 4 sides, triangles obviously have 3. So repeat 3 times, 50 pixels, okay. Move forward, and not 100, 50. Oh, wow. And that had does that? 0. So we're only supposed to use this once. Yikes. And create all of this. All right. We're going to move forward 50, and then what? Diamond alternate. So I think for the let's try 120. And then I'm going to just test this out, draw a triangle. So when I hit run, draw a triangle, and it runs that code, which draws each side. Okay, so that looks good. Measurements are good. All right. So that is drawing our triangle. Awesome. Now what? Well, we're going to want to move forward to draw the next one by 50. So, draw a triangle, actions, and it doesn't want us to use move forward. This is tricky. So, draw a triangle, and then what? We would want to, oh, well, we don't, can we, let's jump forward, and if the side is 50, but each side touches, right? Let me, jump forward by 100 and draw a triangle. Let's see. Yeah, so we're skipping. Okay, since each side touches, we'd only want to jump forward by 50. Perfect. And then, well, how many times are we going to want to do that? It looks like there's 4 triangles on a side. Hopefully we have another loop. Yeah, we can use a loop. All right, so now, instead of drawing a triangle, jump forward, draw a triangle, jump forward, we can just use a loop because we're repeating ourselves. So let's see. Oops. Let's test this out. Awesome. Okay, so what are we going to want to do after that? Well, we're going to want to turn it looks like turn 60 degrees after we do all that stuff. So not 90, 60, so we can face this way. Yep. Okay. And then, well, then we're going to want to do this again once we turn. But then we're going to need to turn more than 60 here. So it looks like this, since this turn is going to be different each time, we should make a function out of this because we're going to want to do that chunk of code more than once. So it's good for a function, but we need to do different stuff in between each time we ask it to run. So let's say, I don't know, draw diamond side maybe will be the name of my function for this. And draw diamond side is creating the side of the diamond by drawing the triangle 4 times and moving along. So once we do that, we're going to want to draw diamond side. Then we're going to turn, and what did I just have that I got rid of? I think turn right by 60. And then we're going to want to draw diamond side again. Let's try. Okay, and now this is going to be a different turn, right? So now we're going to turn right by, it looks like it would be, I don't know, like 120. Is that what they, oh, they gave it to us. Okay. And then function, draw diamond side. Ooh, we're at 14 blocks though. Let's see what happens. Oh, and we only need one more side. So what would we do here? Oh, well now we're going to turn 60 and then we want to draw a side. Turn 60, draw a side. We can use a repeat. So let's go ahead and use a loop. And how many sides? We're going to draw 4 sides, right? So draw a side, turn right, draw a side, zoop, turn right by 120, facing this way, zoop, zoop, and then do all that again on this side. And then, so how this code's going to run is we hit run, repeat 2 times, draw diamond side, zoop, draw diamond side, the computer finds it here. 4 times over, draw a triangle. So, oh, what's that? Oh, here it is. Okay, to draw a triangle, I'm going to 3 times, I'm going to move forward by 50 and turn 120 degrees. Because, and then I hit the bottom and do it a second time, zoop, and a third time, and that will create the 3 sides of one of these small triangles. Then, I hit the bottom of this function, so I jump forward by 50 pixels. I would end up like here-ish, hit the bottom of this, do it again. Draw another triangle 4 times, which draws the whole side of the diamond. Once I'm done with that, I hit the bottom of this, I turn 60 degrees, like here, and then draw the side again, run all that again, then I turn 120, hit the bottom of this, and then do that again, drawing those two sides. Let's give it a shot. Ta-da! Oh, that is tricky. And we did it in 14 blocks. Awesome. Let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS fundamentals. This time using lines of 8 hexagons with 25 pixel sides. Oh my goodness. It's like a complicated diamond. The last one was complicated enough. To make each hexagon, repeat the side 6 times, turning 60 degrees. That's a good hint. So we're going to want to use a repeat 6 and draw that line 6 times while turning 60 degrees. I can already see. Jump 25 pixels between each hexagon. Okay. To draw a diamond. Okay. You will need to alternate between turning 6 degrees and 120 degrees. Oh, all right. This looks so complicated. At only 14 blocks they want us to do this in. All right. Well, let's start by getting the small hexagons. And let's do a function like we have been doing, except instead of draw a square or triangle, we want what? Draw a hexagon. All right. And what do we need to draw a hexagon? We're going to go forward. Well, first, wait a minute. 6 sides. So we want to draw this side 6 times. Great. And then how big is it? 25. Okay. Action. Oh, and we can only use one move forward for all of this. Woof. 25. All right. So we're going to move forward 25. And then what? Well, we're going to want to turn 60 degrees. Yeah, this was for the diamond. So 6 sides turning 60 degrees. Okay. Turn 60 degrees for our hexagon. Okay, so that should draw a hexagon, and let's go ahead and ask the computer run, draw a hexagon, and it should run the code in this function, which 6 times, move forward 25, turn right, once, move forward, turn right, and we'll draw a hexagon hopefully. We got us a hexagon. All right, so draw a hexagon. We got that much. Now, if we're going to create a diamond shape out of these, oh, it looks so complicated. Let's assume we're going to do it like before, where we drew a line of squares and a line of triangles. So let's make another function and draw a line of hexagons, I guess. All right. So draw a line of, it doesn't even look like, I'm going to call it draw diamond side. Because that's what we're making again. Draw a diamond side. All right. So to do that, how many I have no idea how many hexagons are on the side there. They all mush together. Let's use a loop. We're going to have to test some stuff out here. And what do we want to do? Well, we're going to draw a hexagon. And then did it say jump 25 between each? Okay, but what do I turn? I'm just going to try that, honestly. So jump forward 25. I'm not sure if I need more code than this, but the great thing about code is you can always test. So draw diamond side, we'll go zoop, draw diamond side, and we'll draw at least 4 hexagons. Let's see. Oh, that does kind of look like theirs because they're all overlapping. Oh, that's a great sign. Oh, except we didn't get, are we about halfway? Let's try 8 then, if we're about halfway down this side. Let's see. Okay, awesome. So this is good progress. Now that we got draw a diamond side, how many times do we need to do this? Well, there's 4 sides. Oh, wait a minute though, because there's different turns like last time. Let's do turn 60? Yes, okay. Turn 60 degrees. Oh, well, first, whoops, function, draw diamond side, turn 60. Then what? And let's go ahead and do a function. Okay. Then we want to, like before, remember, we're going to call the function again, draw the side of a diamond, and at the end of this, though, where do we want to turn? It's not 60, it's now 120. So turn 120. And again, this is going to be like before. I'll show you what I mean. We're going to then want to, what? Draw a diamond side. And we're at 14 blocks, so we're in trouble, but I'm going to keep going to show you. We then want to turn 60, because we'll be right here. Okay, and then what do we want to do? Well, we want to draw a diamond side. Oops, this should be draw a diamond side. Okay, and notice this code, we're repeating ourselves here. Draw diamond side, turn right by 60, draw diamond side. And we can have a 120 at the bottom of this, because that just means at the beginning, we go back and face our starting point. So, let's loop it 2 times. We can't loop it 4 because our turns are different each time. So we need to do this 2 times, which will draw the complete side, and then another complete side. So, draw diamond function, but is going to do all of that. Ooh, now we have too much code. Oh, okay, well, what if we just do it like this? Oh, fine. We'll do it like that then. Let's give this a shot. Ta-da! Whew, this stuff is complicated. Although, look, we only used 14 lines to draw all of that. That's pretty cool. Onward. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS fundamentals. What will happen when you press run? So as a teacher, I know when you check one of these, pick one of these, and hit run, it locks in your answer. You can't change it. And it's submitted to your teacher. So make sure you do this carefully. Let's take a look at it together. When run, repeat 4 times, okay? Draw a polygon. So I guess I'm drawing 4 polygons. What's draw a polygon do? Droop. Repeat 4 times. I'm going to move forward by 40. Okay, so I'll draw that. Turn right by 90 degrees. Okay. And then, boop, once, twice, same thing. So I'll be here. 3 times be here, 4 times. Okay. So once I do all that, what happens? I did 1. Zoop. Draw a polygon. Turn right by 90. Okay, so then I'd be facing this way. And then I'm going to go forward 40, and then I'm going to go off here once, twice. Interesting. So I'm going to be starting to draw stuff over here. What will happen when you press run? The artist will solve the puzzle correctly. No, the artist will draw 4 squares in a window pattern. The artist will draw only 1 line of squares. The artist will draw 4 squares on top of one another. I know it's not going to be on top of one another. After I turn right and then go down, turn right, over, up, over, I'm going to then aren't I going to do it in over each other in a window pattern? I know I'm not going to solve it. I know I'm not going to only draw 1 line of squares because I'm not drawing this many squares. And I know they won't be on top of each other because they're already going to be next to each other for sure. So, I think it's this. Let's take a look. But, yeah. Awesome, though. Let's keep going. This is Code.org. I'm currently working on CS Fundamentals. Inspiration. Use what you've learned to make whatever you want. Can you make something like this pinwheel? Yeah, we can. All right, we got a bunch of functions here. Let's check them out. Draw a line. Okay, so some of these draw staggered squares. Oh, is that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've used some of these before for sure. Well, we've made some of these before. All right, so let's see. Draw staggered squares, draw a line of squares. So draw staggered squares is gonna call on draw a line of squares, and that's gonna use draw a square. So staggered squares 2 times, draw line of squares. So that goes zoop. And then what does it do? It repeats this 3 times. We're gonna draw a square. What's that do? Zoop. 4 times over, it repeats drawing each side. Once that's done, it draw 4 side. We jump 100 and then zoop. And then do this all over. So we draw 3 squares across. Once that's all done, we go back here, turn right 180 degrees, zoop, and draw another line. Okay, so that starts us off with a line of squares. Now this we've seen before because we made one. We're going to draw hexagons 6 times over. Okay, and what does that, when is this called? By this, draw a line of hexagons 8 times. So we draw 8 hexagons, right? Hexagons have 6 sides, so that's what that means, right? Not 8 times over, it's going to do 6 sides of our hexagon. Once that's done, we jump forward, draw another hexagon. All right, let's see here. Do we need, okay, let's do a function. I don't see squares in this unless I'm missing them. Let's draw a line of hexagons and just double check. Oh wow, that's really big. Okay, so I don't know. Nope, I need to get to here. Oh, never mind, that matches up great. Okay, I'll do that. And then I would, well, what if I respawn back here? I jump back to this exact point and do it again. What angle is this? It's not 90, so I bet it's 40. Oh, reset. Rah! And then let's do, how many sides are there? Because I know I'm just going to repeat this now to draw that one, and then turn, jump back, repeat it. So let's use a loop. This isn't going to be all the sides, but we're just testing still. Oh, that is awesome. And so we have 4 more, so we just need 8. But then, why is there so thin? Is it, I bet it's set width. Let's see set width. That's better. Okay. And then let's do 8. Try that out. I think that should be it. And notice it's running through all these functions, so we could run this slow and see how it's doing all of this. But draw a line of hexagons is really calling on this, and we're what? Oh my gosh, and look how little code we used. You know what, something that I just saw in brushes? Oh, reset. We can even change up the color. So what if I want, I don't know, purple? Bah! And have some fun with it. Oh, so fast. Awesome. We've learned so much in this lesson. It's been one of the more difficult ones, honestly. And look at all these functions. And we can actually tell what they're doing. Well, hopefully. I'm excited to see what's next. Let's keep going.